Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about something every cat owner deals with. What all those weird little things your cat does actually mean. If your cat suddenly stares at absolutely nothing, then 1 second later starts tearing through the house like a maniac. If it sticks its butt in your face, makes weird bird-like noises at the window, or even brings you a dead mouse like it is some kind of gift. It is not broken, and it is not trying to annoy you on purpose. It is just speaking cat. Most people just don't know how to read it. So in this video, we're breaking down the cat behaviors people see all the time and misunderstand all the time. I'm not going to hit you with a bunch of stiff, technical jargon. I'm going to keep this simple and tell you what your cat is actually trying to say. By the time you get to the end, there is a good chance you'll realize a lot of the stuff you used to think was random or insane actually makes perfect sense. And some of it is even a sign that your cat really trusts you. So let me start with the most important thing first. Cats are not crazy. Cats just communicate in a completely different way than humans do. People use words. Cats use tails, ears, eyes, distance, body posture, timing, and sometimes even the way they sleep. And once you start noticing those little details, you realize something really fast. Cats are not cold. They've just never been communicating on human terms. Let's start with the easiest thing to spot, and one of the easiest things to misread. The tail. A lot of people see a cat's tail moving and instantly assume the cat is annoyed. Not always. If the very tip of the tail is making little twitchy movements, that is usually not anger. That is focus, excitement, or hunting mode kicking in. Maybe your cat is staring at a bug on the floor, a bird outside the window, or a toy that is rolling across the room. That tiny twitch at the end of the tail is basically your cat locking in. Like all the wiring in the brain just tightened at once. But if the tail isn't doing a tiny twitch and is instead swishing hard from side to side, especially if it is getting stronger, then yes, you need to be careful. That usually means your cat is irritated, frustrated, or getting seriously worked up. And if you keep pushing at that point, there is a very good chance you're about to get smacked. Now here is a tail position people love to see. Tail straight up. Your cat walks toward you with its tail standing tall, like a flag. That usually means your cat feels good, confident, and safe. This is generally a relaxed social mood. If your cat is walking up to you like that, it is often basically saying, "I'm feeling good right now. You can pet me. You can hang out with me." But if the tail stays low or gets tucked between the legs, that is a very different message. That means nervous, afraid, defensive, or deeply uncomfortable. And if the tail is held very low, close to the ground, while the body is tense, your cat is not in a friendly state, that is defensive mode. The best thing you can do is not comfort it by forcing contact. It is to back off, give it space, and give it a way out. A cat's tail is one of the clearest subtitles you will ever get. Once you learn to read the tail, you can avoid a lot of problems. Now let's move to the eyes, because they say more than you realize. A lot of people see big, wide pupils and immediately think they're scared. Maybe, but not always, as a cat's pupils change size with light. In darker conditions, they expand, and in bright light, they narrow. But if the lighting is normal and the pupils are huge anyway, emotion is in the picture. That could mean excitement, tension, anxiety, fear, or a pounce. Some cats get dilated pupils in heat or when highly stimulated by love. But if they stay large for a long time, don't just write it off as cute. Sometimes medical issues are behind it, and it is time to get it checked. Now let's talk about one of the sweetest cat behaviors, slow blinking. Your cat looks at you, slowly closes its eyes, then slowly opens them. A lot of people think that looks gentle, and it really is, because it usually means something very simple. I trust you and feel safe. A lot of people call this a cat kiss. That is not a bad way to think. In the cat world, letting your guard down is a big deal. If you want to answer back, you can even slowly blink at your cat. Don't assume it is just sleepy. It may be saying, "I like you." Now, what about staring? Why does your cat just sit there and stare? A lot of people get weirded out by this, but it is communication. If your cat is staring and meowing near the food bowl, feed me. If your cat is staring with soft eyes and relaxed posture, that is affection. If your cat is staring hard with a stiff body, that is a warning. Don't come any closer. They are telling you loud and clear. Cats also stare when they feel scared, cold, or even sick. They look at you because they know their well-being depends on you. So not all stares mean the same thing. You have to read the whole cat. Eyes by themselves can fool you, Look at the tail and the ears too. Speaking of ears, if your cat flattens them, that is not good news. It usually means I am not comfortable, so just back off. If you reach in at that point trying to calm your cat down, it may not go well. Because your hand may be read as a threat, so when the ears flatten, pause first. Give space. That ear move is often one of the earliest signs that a cat is getting close to attack mode. A lot of people miss it, and then they say, my cat snapped out of nowhere. Usually it wasn't out of nowhere. Your cat warned you. You just didn't catch it. Now let's talk about another classic posture, the arched back. A lot of people see a cat arch its back and puff up, and assume it is about to launch into attack. Not exactly. A lot of the time, that cat is scared. It is bluffing. It is trying to make itself look bigger, scarier, harder to mess with. It is basically the animal version of somebody talking louder, because they're nervous. So when a cat arches its back, it is not always saying, I'm going to fight you. A lot of the time, it is saying, please don't come closer. I am not okay right now. And once you understand that, you stop trying to dominate the moment and start trying to lower the pressure. Now let's get into one of the most common and most confusing questions cat owners ask. Why do cats meow? This is where it gets really interesting. Adult cats usually do not meow much at each other. Kittens meow at their mothers. They're hungry, cold, need attention. But once they grow up, cats don't really rely on meowing to talk to other cats. Which means something pretty wild. A lot of meowing is basically reserved for humans. In plain language, your cat is trying to talk to you. If your cat meows at you, it usually wants something: food, play, attention. An open door, a cleaned litter box, or maybe you just got home and it is greeting you. And not all meows mean the same thing. A short, lighter one often sounds more like a request. A longer, harsher one often sounds more like a demand. If you've lived with a cat long enough, you probably already know this. Some cats have a very specific meow for food. Some have another one for doors. They are talking. They're just not using human words. And then there is another sound a lot of cat owners hear. It is lighter than a meow. Higher pitched, almost like a little chirpy trill. That sound is often called trilling. And female cats especially are known for it. Mother cats use it to get kittens to follow them. So when your cat does it to you, the message can be pretty similar. Pay attention. Come here, notice me. Cats trill when you get home, when they see food. When they want you to follow them somewhere, it is usually a positive sound. You can think of it as the cat version of, hey, come check this out. Now let's talk about one of the most loved and most misunderstood sounds, purring. A lot of the time, yes, a purring cat is a happy cat. It happens when they're relaxed, comfortable, being petted, or nursing kittens. But purring does not only mean happiness. Cats also purr when they're anxious, hurt, or not feeling well. That low vibration may help them self-soothe, and it may even help with pain relief or healing. So if your cat is purring but also looks off, don't automatically assume everything is perfect. Sometimes cats are uncomfortable and trying to calm themselves down at the same time. That contrast is really important to remember. Now let's get into those cat behaviors that feel personal, the ones that happen between your cat and you. First, licking. If your cat licks you, a lot of the time it is grooming you. Remember, cats build relationships by grooming each other. So when your cat licks you, it is saying you belong in its social circle. It is also leaving its scent on you, which is another way of saying, this human is mine. Now what about biting? Because biting gets complicated fast. Some bites are warnings, some are play, some are what people call love bites. A light little no is often affection. But if the bite is harder and comes with a stiff body, tail whipping, or ear changes, that is not love anymore. That is irritation. And then there is the especially confusing one, the lick and then bite combo. A lot of times, that is overstimulation. Your cat may have been enjoying the interaction, then suddenly hit its limit. So it gives a couple licks, almost like a transition, and then gives you one bite to say, that is enough now. So the lick then bite move is not always a betrayal. A lot of times, it is a boundary. Now let's talk about a thing almost every cat owner has seen. You touch the base of your cat's tail, and suddenly the butt goes up. It looks ridiculous, but the reason is simple. That area has a lot of nerve endings. For many cats, it feels really good to be scratched there. So they raise the rear like they're presenting the spot to you. But don't assume they want it forever. Too much touching in the same place can still become annoying. And yes, female cats in heat may raise the rear even more easily. That is a different message entirely. And sometimes cats will also just turn around and present the rear to you. A lot of humans take that personally, but in cat language, that isn't necessarily rude. It can be social. It can be scent exchange. It can even be trust. So don't always assume your cat is disrespecting you. Sometimes it is just being very familiar. Now let's get into one of the cutest and most dangerous misunderstandings: belly exposure. Your cat sees you, falls over dramatically, and shows the belly. A lot of people immediately think it wants a belly rub. Slow down. Showing the belly usually does mean your cat feels relaxed and trusting. It is a greeting. It is a friendly signal. But it does not necessarily mean go ahead and touch here. The belly is one of the most vulnerable parts of a cat's body. That is where all the important organs are protected. So a cat may willingly show the belly and still absolutely not want it touched. You reach in and suddenly your hand gets grabbed, rabbit kicked, and bitten. That doesn't mean your cat lied to you. It means you misread the message. Now let's talk about kneading, that thing where cats press their front paws. On blankets, on your lap, or on the bed, it is a thing. A lot of the time, kneading means your cat feels very safe and attached. Kittens do this when nursing, and many keep the behavior as a comfort response. But kneading has another layer too, which is marking. Cats have scent glands in their paw pads, so it is leaving scent behind. If your cat needs you, you're getting a double message. I feel safe with you, and also, I'm claiming you. Now, here is another thing. People misread constantly. If your cat ignores you, that doesn't automatically mean it doesn't love you. Cats do not always answer on your schedule. You call and it doesn't come. A lot of people take that personally, but cats are not dogs. They don't hear their name and assume immediate compliance. If your cat is cozy, sleepy, or just not in the mood to move, it may simply see no reason to come over. That isn't rejection. It is just a different social style, and respecting space builds trust. Now, let's talk about why your cat follows you everywhere. You go to the kitchen, there it is. You go to the bathroom, it waits. You move to another room, it follows again. The reasons are pretty simple. It likes your company. It may be bored or just curious about you. And there's also a very cat explanation. It sees the house as its territory. You're moving through it, so it is following along to keep tabs on everything. That doesn't mean your cat is clingy. It just means you're important. If your cat is following and meowing, maybe it wants food. Maybe the litter box is dirty, or maybe something feels off physically. Now let's get into the behaviors that make people think cats lost their minds. First, the sudden zoomies where cats explode into full-speed chaos. Across the couch, down the hallway, hard stop, turn, repeat. People joke about midnight parkour, but the core is energy release. Cats are predators, and even indoor cats still run on that wiring. If they haven't had enough exercise, stimulation, or outlets during the day, that energy comes pouring out all at once, especially around dawn and dusk. Cats are naturally crepuscular. Those are just their active hours. If your cat goes wild at night, it is not trying to ruin your life. It is running on cat time. You just need more daytime engagement. Now, here is another behavior that really throws people off. Your cat spots a bird outside the window. It suddenly starts making weird, rapid clicking sounds with its teeth, almost like it is trying to become a bird. The reason most people give for this comes down to one thing. Your cat is both thrilled and frustrated because it sees prey. Its hunting system switches on, but there is glass in the way, so it can't actually do anything about it. That weird chattering sound is just intense, blocked excitement. So no, it is not some random bad habit. It is the reaction of a predator stopped at the edge of the hunt. Now let's talk about a behavior that drives people crazy. Why does your cat keep pushing glasses, pens, or decorations off tables? Anything near the edge suddenly becomes a target. The reasons are usually pretty basic, like curiosity, boredom, or attention. Cats use their paws to investigate the world. Once a cat learns that knocking something over makes you react, it repeats it. Some cats genuinely figure out that if I do this, my human will look. Once they learn that, good luck convincing them it doesn't work. Now let's talk about something that worries a lot of owners. Cats chewing blankets, socks, plastic bags, or rubber bands. The urge to eat non-food items is called pica. It can be linked to boredom, stress, or nutritional issues. If your cat occasionally nibbles something odd, just watch it. But if it is happening a lot, don't wait around. Because this isn't just weird, it can become dangerous fast. While we're on weird habits, a lot of cats like chewing plants. That isn't always a bad sign. They may just want to settle their stomach, which is why providing safe cat grass is a much better plan than letting your cat freestyle on random houseplants. Now let's move into the mysteries of why they choose a tiny box. The answer makes sense from a wild animal perspective. Small enclosed spaces feel safe, like a den or a hiding spot. Boxes also hold warmth, and cats love warmth. To a cat, a little cardboard box is a perfect fortress. That same logic explains why cats love sleeping on you. Your body is a stable heat source and a trusted presence. Sleep is when animals are most vulnerable. So sleeping close to you gives your cat warmth and safety. Don't overestimate feline independence. They really do miss their people. They may not act like dogs, but many get clingy when you return. That is their version of affection. There is the thing that makes everyone laugh: cats sleeping on laptops. Especially warm ones. The reason is almost too obvious: heat. If your laptop runs warm, your cat sees it as a heated bed. Now, another sleep behavior. Why do cats cover their faces when sleeping? Most of the time, it is about warmth, reducing heat loss. It can also be about blocking light, like a tiny sleep mask. Sometimes, honestly, the cat just fell asleep in a weird position. Now let's get into one of the biggest owner headaches: the litter box. Why does a cat suddenly stop using it properly? Most of the time, it is not revenge, it is that the box stopped working. Too dirty, not enough litter, too much fragrance, or bad location. Cats are very clean animals. They don't want a filthy bathroom. If the litter box is too far away or in an unsafe place, if you have multiple cats and too few boxes, the issue gets worse. A practical rule is to have one box per cat, plus one extra. That alone prevents a lot of problems, and not every accident is behavior. Sometimes it is marking, especially when urine is sprayed on vertical surfaces. That is territory communication. Your cat is saying, "This is mine." Stress can also trigger litter problems, like moving or new visitors. These may not feel huge to you, but to your cat, they shake the world. If it keeps happening, don't just think behavior, think health too. And let's clear up why cats bury poop. A simple behavior. In the wild, burying waste helps hide a cat from predators. It can also help avoid provoking more dominant cats. So burying isn't just hygiene, it is also social strategy and survival. Some cats don't bury it because not burying is a message too. Whether a cat buries it or not, there is information in the choice. Why does your cat rub against your legs? Because it is leaving scent. When it rubs on you, it is both bonding and marking. In simple terms, you've been claimed. Why do cats hate closed doors? Because cats are curious and territorial. They get easily annoyed by being excluded from a closed door, and now they need to know what is on the other side. Add the fact that many cats treat the whole house like their domain, and a closed room becomes a problem. And yes, sometimes the reason is even simpler. You are on the other side, and they want to be where you are. People often try to stop scratching completely, but that is never going to work. Scratching is claw maintenance, stretching, energy release, and marking all at once. It leaves a visible mark and a scent mark, which together basically say, "This is mine." You are not going to erase that instinct. But what you can do is give your cat better places to scratch. Now let's get into the behaviors that really break people's brains. Why does your cat bring you dead animals? As gross as it feels, your cat probably is not trying to horrify you. In cat logic, this may actually be sharing. Bringing prey back to a trusted social partner. Which, yes, sounds completely ridiculous. But your cat may genuinely think it is bringing you a gift. Why does my cat beg for food, then sniff it and walk away? One very interesting possibility is that for many cats, food and attention are closely linked. Sometimes asking for food isn't just about eating. It is also about getting a response from you, getting you to look at them, talk to them, or circle around them for a moment. But if a cat that normally loves food suddenly loses interest, even in favorite treats, don't just call it picky. Check the cat's health. Now, here is one of the funniest expressions cats make. That weird open mouth, stinky face after smelling something. Lip curled, mouth open a little, nose wrinkled. That isn't just disgust. A lot of the time, your cat is actually analyzing the scent more deeply. Cats have a special organ in the roof of the mouth that helps process certain scent information. So when a smell feels especially important, your cat activates that whole face. You'll often see it more around pheromones and mating-related smells. So the face isn't saying, gross. It is saying, hold on, I need more data. Why do kittens go limp when their mother grabs them by the scruff? That is a reflex. When a very young kitten is picked up by the scruff, its body goes still and floppy. That makes it safer and easier for the mother cat to move it. But this is important, that reflex is for kittens. It does not mean humans should casually pick up adult cats that way. Why do cats like drinking from the faucet? Because moving water feels fresher and safer in nature, and things that move and make sound naturally attract cats. So a lot of cats would rather sit under the faucet than drink from a bowl of still water that has been sitting there a while. And finally, let's clear up one of the biggest misunderstandings of all. When a cat sees you and just flops over, when your cat rolls around and shows you the most vulnerable part of its body, that is not a challenge, and it is not a free pass to immediately go hands-on. It is mostly about relaxation and trust. The fact that you get to see that side of your cat already says a lot. It means you matter, but trust doesn't mean your cat stopped having instincts. So yes, feel honored, just maybe don't lead with your hand. Alright, if you only remember one sentence from this whole video, make it this one. Cats are not weird, you're just reading them through a human filter. When they follow you, they're not necessarily being needy. When they ignore you, they're not necessarily being cold. When they lick, bite, rub, stare, or sprint through the house at 2 a.m., a lot of the time, they are communicating something very real. An emotion, a boundary, a need, or trust. So now, I want to hear from you. What is the one thing your cat does that you still don't fully understand? The sudden zoomies, the weird window chatter, or the obsession with knocking things off tables, or the dramatic belly flop followed immediately by attacking your hand. Drop your cat's strangest behavior in the comments. I genuinely want to know. Because honestly, the thing driving you crazy right now might be the exact thing another cat is trying very hard to explain.